We know we enjoy talking about minimalism.
Yeah, that's something that I've been extremely inspired by in the last few years. I actually feel like it's been quite a spiritual journey in and of itself for me, realising how unimportant most of the stuff around us is, the physical stuff, and how little we actually need to live, to be okay. I find it actually quite humbling, really. At the same time, I feel like there's an urgency for more people to get on this bandwagon. This is something I would like to advocate, because it's a simple fact that if the whole of the world lived in as much abundance as, say, the Western world seems to, places like Europe and North America, you know, the United States, we just wouldn't be able to sustain it at all. We have too much stuff and we're drowning in it. And also, by getting rid of stuff, or, you know, because it's by no means at the level I'd like it to be just yet, but by getting rid of the, you know, percentage of stuff that we have done already, which I'd probably say is about 40 to 50% of what we had before, roughly.
Okay.
I don't know if you agree with that.
I don't think the figure matters.
No, but getting rid of stuff has given me room to think about spiritual development and the stuff I'm really interested in a lot more. And it's made me feel a lot more creative, and I've been saying this to Em recently. What's happened is now I'm looking at majority blank walls in our place of residence. It almost feels like a blank sheet of paper, but instead of just putting stuff up that's sort of been mass produced by, you know, people in a factory, it's got the creative juices flowing a little bit, and I've been coming up with ideas of how I can really make it a statement in self-expression, in you know, our own creativity as well. So it's quite an interesting journey anyway, minimalism. So I think it's probably a good couple of years now since I first came across this concept and started studying it. And I was completely inspired by it. And long may it last, really. I hope it continues to get less and less stuff. Material stuff, in fact. It's very liberating. Don't know how you feel.
I agree. I think it is very liberating. It's strange, actually.
Yeah.
There's something deep in the psyche that doesn't want to have lots of possessions. I think it's to do with our desire to move. If you have lots of possessions, then you're sort of tied to them and you can't move. But moving is part, I think, of our humanity. I think we're naturally nomadic, and therefore possessions, overwhelming numbers of possessions, don't fit into that part of our psyche. They fit into the part of the psyche which says, oh, I want something more. I want to make sure that I'm safe. I want to make sure that I'm secure, because the more I have, the more security I can have. That part of the psyche they do fit into. But when you turn around and look at the number of things you've accumulated, then you think, oh my gosh, have I accumulated this much? Surely I don't need this much. Surely it's too much. What am I going to do with all this stuff? When I come to move house, it's a complete nightmare.
Well, I'd like to point out that that's part of the reason that the minimalism ball got rolling was the fact that Em and I moved. I've just worked it out 8 times in a matter of about 5 years, and each time we moved it was a slog, and it was a pain in the arse, to be honest, moving all this stuff every time.
We threw out loads every time,
and we seemed to just still have, you know, an abundance of stuff, some of which on the last move we did ended up in a garage and hasn't been moved from there like 4 years later, 4 years down the line now. And it's absolutely ridiculous. So, you know, that proves it, really. And another reason that I'm really an advocate for minimalism is having 2 young children. They tend to come with rather a lot of baggage, and they accumulate a lot of stuff very quickly.
They don't come with it.
They do. I'm sure they do. It just appears. When the children appear, so does the stuff. an abundance of stuff.
Yeah, but they were given that stuff.
Yeah. Most
They
of what
popped
they
out with
have,
nothing.
most of what they have, Em and I haven't actually bought. I know it sounds really stingy, but, you know, if I look at all the stuff they have got, a lot of it's been bought for them by other people as well, because that's cultural. That, you know.